So in 2010, it would be the spring of 2010, my friend and I had signed up for French 202 with Professor Hill. Come to find out, the semester before, a few weeks left, we found out the class was canceled due to not enough interest. And this kind of struck me because I really love French, that was my minor. And so my friend and I, along with some other classmates, decided to come together, partner up, and see what we could do to try and keep the course. Turns out what we did didn't work, and so my friend talked to the professor along with the other professor in the program of French, and he said that an independent study would be really good for us. And then I started getting hold of the department head, the dean. I'm not sure what his name is or if he is still here. We got a hold of him, and he said that an independent study could work out. We would just have to fill out some paperwork. So then my friend and I got back together. We got a hold of both professors, filled out the necessary paperwork, and she decided that an independent study she would take on with us, even though I was informed you do not get paid to teach an independent study class. And that her just taking that on for us shows how much dedication she has to her students and the learning, and that it doesn't matter about money, it matters about us learning and just having a great time. And it was the best class that I've had because you got to be one-on-one with the teacher, you learn more, you could actually know more about her as a person, not just, hey, it's my professor. And us collaborating together made such a difference for both of us. We learned so much, and the professor learned so much about us as well, and it was really amazing. And anyone should try and take that opportunity with a professor if they can. I love it.
Well, I'm a member of Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity, a student organization on campus, and we had an issue with members not being engaged in the organization as much as they should be. Some lapses in the operations of the actual organization, and we had a real need to increase our retention of our membership because we were having guys that were coming up here to Ferris, joining the fraternity, being in school for about 2 years, and then actually failing out of school. So we needed help fixing that problem, and then we came to Dr. Johnson.
Brian approached me one day after class. He was in one of my summer classes, and he asked me if I might consider being a faculty mentor or advisor for the SIG-EPS. And I didn't really know what to make of that. I have a lot of commitments, and I don't like committing to something if I know that I can't do it well and give it the time that it deserves. So I asked Brian to come in and talk with me a little bit about what his needs might be. And he used all the right words. We need help. We need to get our academics on track. We're worried about retention. He said, we need a mama bear. and I always say I'm a mama bear for the learning environment on the first day. So apparently we connected. And after I had established I wasn't just going to be a warm body to sign papers, I thought, there's a space here for me. I think that there's something I can do to help these guys, and I'd like to see them stay at Ferris, and I'd like to see them do well and succeed once they leave. So once I had agreed to take on the role, I started wondering, how am I going to communicate with them? I don't know them. I don't know anything about the organization. But I did know that I could set up shells in Blackboard. And I thought, hey, I've done that for my advisees, and it worked really well. So I'm going to set up a shelf for them in Blackboard, and at least I'll be able to email them all at the same time. They can maybe look at some academic resources that I put in there. And so I did. I set up what I called SIG-EPS Central, and I showed it to Brian and said, what do you think of this?
And from there, it kind of evolved into something much bigger than just a communication source for the members and Dr. Johnson. It turned into actually digitalizing our membership development program and building our phases of our challenge on the Blackboard Connect system, allowing our members to submit objectives online, pull up a calendar of all the meetings, academic resources.
Yeah, we've worked out ways for them to keep track of dues, meeting attendance. A lot of their membership challenges involve professional development activities, attending extracurricular events like diversity events at Ferris. So we have a lot of good ways for them to keep track of what they're doing. You know, we're thinking, hey, here's a problem, here's a tool that's never been used this way before, but we can think creatively, we can think outside the box, and maybe we can do something innovative that nobody's ever done before.
So I walked in the office of Multicultural Student Services, and the assistant director, Michael Wade, asked me to step in his office. And pretty much he asked me what I was doing that next Wednesday, and I told him pretty much probably nothing. So what he did was he invited me to go on this conference. He said he just received an email from Franklin Hughes from the Diversity and Inclusion Office, and the conference was that next Wednesday, and it was called Young Professionals of Color. So I went to fill out the paperwork for the conference, thought it would be a great opportunity for me to network and get to know more people. And I noticed there wasn't a lot of students who had signed up for it. So in turn, I called Kiara.
And at the time, I was in Detroit, and when he told me the name of the conference, Young Colored Professionals, I was like, that's me, like, I can do this. And in my mind, I'm thinking, like, okay, I may not be in the corporate world yet, but I'll be surrounded by the people who are, and there are things from them that I can learn.
When we got there, it was amazing. The building was awesome. Glass building, water fountains everywhere. We got a chance to meet a lot of great speakers. One of my favorite parts was the speaker Julian Gordon, who talked about defining your own success. We also had a chance to meet another dynamic speaker, Plaster Glenn, and one of the interesting things about his speech was he had us do a vision board, and what we had to do was cut out pictures from the magazines, different things like that.
And it was so hard because you have these magazines, and in the magazines you have money and you have cars and homes and families, but you can't cut those things out. You have to cut out the steps to get those things. So we had to be creative and find things like books and gavels and words that would pretty much describe the steps to our success.
Right, and from the vision board, mine turned out perfect, and every day when I wake up, that's what I see. He encouraged us to put it somewhere where we see it daily, so I see my vision board daily, so I know I have to take those steps to get to where I want to be.
I was so grateful for the opportunity to attend the conference. I wish that was something that we did here at Ferris to inspire all of the students. It was definitely life-changing to be able to go to a diverse setting of individuals from all different backgrounds and cultures, and to be able to have these conversations about life and about success and building your future. It was very inspiring.
Freshman year, I came to campus as a honors pre-pharmacy major. My dorm had no diversity in it. There was no one like me, and I felt really out of place on campus at first. After my first semester, I decided that pharmacy was not for me, and I needed to change my major. I actually ended up meeting Dr. Stephanie Thompson, who is a communication professor here at Ferris, and from a random incident, I was sitting on the floor outside her office waiting for Dr. Patton to come in to talk to him about my speech, and she invited me in her office. We got talking about Dolores Huerta and the Latino population, and I started to do a research project with her on the evolution of American quinceañeras. I'm really proud to walk through Johnson Hall and see my poster board still hanging in there, and I took that to a communication conference. Well, after that year, I took summer classes, and I needed a new research project. I found my niche. I love to do research. I love learning. I loved reading the books. I was reading graduate level books, and I was blowing myself away. It was that fall that I heard Dr. Tony Baker talk on a student panel during Hispanic Heritage Month about his involvement with the Latino population in Chicago. So when I had his class that summer, I go, oh my gosh, I should ask him if he has a project for me. He ended up hooking me up with the Hispanic Center of Western Michigan, and I worked with them on a college preparation readiness course throughout the summer for their students, and then organized a 3-day, 2-night stay here on campus and led the students around campus. And I continued to work with the organizations. I did my freshman internship with them. I met people from La UP and other Hispanic organizations across the state. Well, when the talk of the Center for Latino Studies came about, Dr. Baker had contacted me again because I had a sociology class with him in that fall. And he's like, hey, will you come sit on the student panel to talk about it? And for the first time, I found 5 other students that looked like me on campus. And I really started to feel like I fit in and that my culture was here and that I found my place on campus.